Hi, my name is Lena. I'm 24 years old, and I live in London. I work in a small marketing office near the city center, and for a long time, I thought I had a simple plan for my life. I wanted love that felt safe, honest, and lasting. I thought I had found that kind of love when I met my ex-boyfriend 2 years ago. At the beginning, everything felt easy. We met through a friend at a birthday dinner. He was quiet, but kind. He listened carefully when I spoke, and he remembered small details about me. He knew I liked late evening walks, warm coffee, and rainy days when I could stay home and read. I felt seen by him, and that feeling was very special to me. Little by little, he became part of my daily life. Good morning messages, lunch breaks together, phone calls at night, weekend plans, small jokes that only we understood. I got used to having him in my world. I think that is why the breakup hurt me so much. It was not only about losing a person, it was also about losing a future I had already started building in my mind. I had imagined birthdays together, trips together, maybe even a home together one day. When a relationship ends, sometimes it feels like two losses at the same time. You lose the person, and you lose the dream. Our relationship did not end with one big fight. It ended slowly. That was the hardest part. There was no dramatic moment, no single sentence that destroyed everything. Instead, there were small changes. He replied more slowly. He seemed tired when we met. He smiled less. When I asked if something was wrong, he said he was just busy, just stressed, just needing some space. I wanted to believe him, so I did. But deep inside, I could feel the distance growing between us. For a while, I blamed myself for everything. I wondered if I talked too much, if I asked for too much, if I loved too deeply. I read old messages again and again, trying to find the exact point where things started to change. I told myself that if I could understand the reason, maybe I could fix it. But love is not always something you can fix by working harder. Sometimes one person is already leaving while the other person is still trying to hold everything together. The day we broke up was quiet. We sat in a small cafe we used to love. I remember the sound of cups touching plates, the soft music in the background, and the way he could not look at me for very long. He told me he cared about me, but something had changed. He said he did not think he could continue the relationship. He said I deserved someone who could love me the way I needed. I know he was trying to be gentle, but his words still felt like glass in my chest. I nodded because I did not know what else to do. I tried to stay calm until I got home. Then I cried on my bedroom floor until my face hurt and my body felt empty. The weeks after that were very difficult. I did not feel like myself. I went to work, answered emails, smiled when I needed to, and came home feeling heavy. Food had no taste. Music was too painful. Even the streets I walked every day looked different. Everything reminded me of him. The coffee shop near my office, the movie theater at the corner, the park where we sat one Sunday and talked about our future. It was like the whole city was full of memories I did not ask for. I think heartbreak is strange because people cannot always see it. If you break your arm, everyone understands that you need time to heal. But when your heart breaks, people often expect you to move on quickly. They say things like, "You will be fine," or "There are many other people." Maybe they mean well, but healing does not happen because someone tells you it should. Healing happens slowly, in private moments, in ordinary days, when you choose yourself again and again. At first, I was not choosing myself. I was checking his social media too often. I was reading our old conversations late at night. I was keeping the pain alive because I was afraid that letting go meant the love had meant nothing. But one evening, after another hour of crying over photos on my phone, I looked at my face in the mirror and thought, I cannot keep living like this. I was tired. Not only sad, but tired. Tired of waiting for a message that would not come. Tired of carrying hope that was hurting me more than helping me. That was the beginning of my healing, even though it did not feel beautiful or strong. It started with something very small. I deleted our chat. My hands were shaking when I did it. Then I stopped visiting his page online. I put away the gifts he had given me. I did not throw everything away, because I was not ready for that. But I moved those things out of sight. I needed space to breathe without reopening the wound every day. After that, I began creating little routines for myself. Every morning before work, I walked for 20 minutes by the river. I listened to calm music, not sad songs, just soft music that gave my mind a place to rest. I started writing in a notebook at night. I wrote honestly, even when my thoughts were messy. Some pages were full of anger, some were full of missing him, some were full of questions with no answers, but writing helped me hear my own voice again. I also started saying yes to people who cared about me. During the relationship, I had spent so much time with him that I had slowly given less time to my friends. After the breakup, one of my closest friends invited me out for noodles after work. I almost said no because I did not feel cheerful enough. But I went, and I am glad I did. We talked for 2 hours. Sometimes we talked about the breakup. Sometimes we talked about completely different things. For the first time in weeks, I laughed without forcing it. That laugh felt small, but important. It reminded me that pain was not the only thing still alive inside me. Little by little, I learned something that changed me. I learned that healing is not about becoming the person you were before. It is about becoming someone softer, wiser, and more honest with yourself. Before the breakup, I thought love meant staying no matter what. Now I think love should also feel mutual. It should not leave you always guessing. It should not make you feel lonely inside the relationship. I stopped asking, why wasn't I enough? And started asking, why did I accept so little when I had so much love to give? That question helped me grow. I began taking better care of my body and mind. I slept earlier. I cooked simple meals instead of skipping dinner. I spent less time on my phone and more time doing real things. I read books again. I visited my parents on weekends more often. I even joined a small yoga class near my apartment, and even though I was terrible at it at first, it made me feel connected to myself again. These things did not erase the heartbreak, but they gave me strength, while the heartbreak slowly became lighter. There were still hard days, of course. Healing is never a straight line. Some mornings I woke up feeling fine, and then one song in a cafe ruined my whole mood. Some nights I missed him so much that I wanted to text him just to say I still cared. But I learned that missing someone does not always mean they should return to your life. Sometimes missing someone is just part of saying goodbye properly. Now it has been 8 months since the breakup. I still remember him. I think maybe a part of me always will, and that is okay. Not every memory needs to disappear for us to move forward. Some people are chapters, not the whole story. They teach us something, they change us, and then they leave. That does not mean the chapter was meaningless. It only means the book is still being written. I used to think losing him would break me forever. But it didn't. It hurt me. It changed me. It forced me to face parts of myself that I had ignored. It showed me how deeply I could love, but also how deeply I needed to love myself. And maybe that is the quiet gift hidden inside heartbreak. It teaches you to come home to yourself. So if you are listening to this and your heart is hurting right now, I want to say something gently. It will not always feel this heavy. One day you will laugh and mean it. One day you will wake up and notice that the pain is no longer the first thing you feel. One day you will stop looking back so often. And when that day comes, you will realize that healing was happening even when you thought nothing was changing. I am still growing. I am still learning. I do not know exactly what kind of love will come into my life next, but I know this now. I will not beg for closeness. I will not ignore my own needs. I will not call confusion love. The next time I give my heart to someone, I want it to be with open eyes, steady peace, and the kind of love that feels warm, not uncertain. For now, I am here. I am healing. I am becoming someone I trust. And honestly, that feels like the beginning of something beautiful.